beauty filter. Yeah, you look younger.
We're as beautiful just as we are.
Yeah, looks nice. Live. Hello? Hello? Yeah, yes. Hello?
Hmm.
It's nice. Live.
Oh, there we go.
Hello? Yeah, we're testing. Okay. Okay. So we are testing. So a little bit. Okay, today is what's it? April 10th?
11th.
Oh, April 11th. So today, this is Weifeng in University of Wisconsin Madison. I'm the microsurgery educator. And here we teach fellow, plastic surgery resident, neurosurgery resident, orthopedics, ENT resident, and fellow. And we're starting to teach a group of undergrad. So because we see even we don't have surgical experience, we see even amazing even we don't have the surgery experience, they still can be trained and learn and master the microsurgery. So today we have a student, our student, yeah, James, James King. Yeah, James, tell us a little bit about you.
Yes, so I'm James. I'm a third year undergraduate at the University of Wisconsin. And well, Weifeng already did most of the heavy lifting in terms of the explanation. So I'm one of the guinea pigs essentially
Yeah.
for this experiment and assessment.
Yeah. So in the past, today is lesson 3, so we will work on synthetic vessel and osmosis. Before that, we have spent 2 lessons. One is the introduction, talk about the suture, microscope, and instruments. There's a lot of small detail and making laying the foundation to launch the undergrad. And second lesson, we practice the stitching and knot tying method, how to handle the suture. And then after each lesson, James come back to the lab and practice by himself. And today, we will move forward to real anastomosis use synthetic vessel. Synthetic vessel is, today we will use 2 centimeter. Oh, yeah, 2 milliliter diameter of vessels. And then before that, we will warm up a little bit and see. Now we will use the Nile suture. So Nile suture, James, tell us a little bit.
This is actually one of the things I was just thinking to myself about. I kind of forgot a lot of the details about the sutures.
Yeah.
Yeah, admittedly.
So tell me.
So 9.
Yeah, the Nile is the size of the suture.
Is that the length in centimeters of the thread?
Yeah, this is the length of the suture, and this is the diameter of the suture. 0.3 metric. Metric is a pharmacology unit. It's not like milliliter or inch.
Right.
So 0.3 is 9.0 is 0.3, 10.0 is 0.2, and 11.0 is 0.1, 12 is 0.01, like that. And then this part is the needle information. Yeah, so BV is blood vessel. 100, this is 100 micron, the diameter of the needle. This 4 is the category of the product. 5.1 milliliter is the length of the needle. So this figure is really very similar to exactly what the needle's length inside. And 3/8 circumference. In microsurgery, we don't like the half circumference needle, and taper. Taper is the shape of the needle. Taper tip is considered as a traumatic needle. When we stitch the skin, we use cutting needle because the skin is very tough, and we want the needle has some blade, so we're making it like a cutting needle, like a triangle. Yeah, so this is the Nile suture. It's paper tip 5.1 long needle, and the diameter is 100 micron. Yeah, we should release the tail, and we can compare the size of the needle, and this is the when it goes to the length. This figure is really very similar to.
Did you look at that?
Yeah. Yeah. The 11-hole suture is also there has a figure. 11-hole suture usually they put it on a 3.8 millimeter needle, so it's kind of almost like two-thirds of this suture. Okay, now I demonstrate once, and then you practice a little bit. So we take the suture all the way out by one hand, and then bring it back to in front of you. Now we can drop the needle or whatever, or you can put it on the edge of the field. Then so the first knot, surgeon's knot, and then in the training we use this method, go back to in front of you. And also we can just make loops above of the short end, so we can just catch it. So like if we loop here and then we need to move, so we loop just above of the short end, so we can just catch it. And then microsurgery, 3 knots is enough. First knot, 2, and then first is the surgeon's knot, and then 2 more in between. Oh, 2 more knot, single knot after that. Okay. Okay, now you put raise 1 stitch here.
All right, let's see what I can do.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
There's 3 people there. Yeah, if you are watching the YouTube video, yeah, please leave a comment. Now I really want to interact with you guys.
Okay.
We used to use Zoom for the live teaching, so I can see what your guys' face, and you guys can ask questions. Now the YouTube video, I cannot see your guys, but yeah, please write something in the chat so I can see you guys there.
Okay, I messed it up.
Okay, put one more stitch. I will tell you some tips. Yeah. Okay. Good. Now you can pick up the suture. Good. Okay. Now, remember, bring it back to in front of you. Yeah. Yeah. Now, bring it back to in front of you. Okay. Catch the suture.
There we go.
Yeah. Then yes, pass the suture to yeah. Okay, do one more. Yeah. So sometimes if you feel like we forgot something, but actually it's not forgot. We just need to decoding it from our brain because it's transferred to the long-term memory. And after we decoding it, now the second practice is decoding your memory. And then you transfer to the deeper memory. Okay. Let's see if I feel my hand is not steady and I use another instrument to support. Okay, one more. Now try to use your left hand to pull the suture out because the needle is in your left side after you put the stitch, place the stitch. Use your left hand, yeah. Yeah, okay. Nice. Okay, now still holding the suture. Now I want you to, yeah, keeping it still in the air. Okay, catch the suture. Okay, and when you catch the suture, now you catch the suture. Now the suture is under your needle holder. That's not easy to make roots. Yeah, yeah. You catch the suture like this way. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Okay. Now we can use vessel. You, you, okay. Cut it. Okay. Where's the stray season? The stray season. Because flip flop, we want to use a stray season.
Yeah.
So we'll open the movement. So when we're holding the vessel line, if we're holding the suture line vessel like this way, we need to be really gentle instead of really clamp on it. So most of the time we pick up the vessel by holding the adventitia instead of holding the vessel itself. So this vessel is material, we need to keep it wet to prevent it dry out. And we will teach that small detail when we practice in a real vessel. Before we start, let's talk about the stitching method. So, James, like connecting the vessel, generally there's two methods. One is we do the front wall, and then we flip it, and then do the back wall. Yeah. And the second method is we cannot flip the vessel, like it's too short. There's something like there's bifurcation holding it, like this vessel, and here's a bifurcation, another branch holding it, so we cannot flip it.
Sure.
And then we cannot cut this vessel. There's some major vessel, and then we cannot flip it. And then we have to do the back wall first, and then do the front wall. So this is maybe two method. But for you, most 95%, we just use one method. I mean, one method we can handle 95%
Right.
of the case. So it's the front wall and back wall. That's a simple method. So. So we're starting from the 0 and 180, or 12 o'clock or 6 o'clock. At these two suture. By these two suture, the vessel will divide to front wall and back wall, right?
Yeah.
So these two suture usually is we can use for the assistant holding it or attach to somewhere to make it stable. So this is two stay suture. Stay suture. Two stay. So this method it's also we name it as two stay method. And then after that and then the next step just place the suture evenly on the front wall and back wall. So there are two methods, like if we can divide it in the middle, and then put two more in between.
On each side, right?
Yeah, on each side. Or if there's smaller vessel, and then we can just evenly put two on the front wall, and then flip it to the same way. So like in this method, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then totally it will be an 8-stitch method. If we put two on the front wall, that's totally it's a 6-stitch method. So the goal is to making it even. If it's not even, there's some problem. Like this suture, if we place in here, and this one will go here, and after we close it, this side will bump up and making it a dog ear. Like if this stitch goes straight, and this is go like from here to here,
right.
And when we close it, and here we kind of close up, and then making a kind of a dog ear here, and this is a leaking spot. This is a leaking spot here. We name in surgery, we name it dog ear here. So that's why we want to place the suture evenly, so to prevent this leaking spot. Once we make the dog ear, it's a little bit hard to fix it, because if we put one more in between, there's two small dog ear.
Exactly.
Again. Yeah. Okay. So this is didn't line up very well. Set up the vessel in a very good place. It's very important. So spending time on setting up in a very clear and convenient situation is kind of sharpening your saw
Right.
before you cutting down a tree. Okay, now this is 2 milliliter vessel. 2 milliliter.
Yep.
So it's a little bit less, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. Looks like maybe 1.5.
Yeah, so we zoom in a little bit so we can see now. When we zoom in and we want to see it like comfortable, feeling comfortable doing that, so we put on this one. So today we just practice the demonstrate the method. So I want to go to the lateral and medial spot. So I push it a little bit and then I go down. There. It's a little bit. The first and second stitch is the most difficult stitch. So today we just demonstrate the method. When we go use the real vessel, it will be easier. Okay, now this one we want to go to the side, and then if we just doing like this way, we will come out on the top, right? So we push the suture, push the needle, and then we press the distal of the vessel down, and then it come up from the lateral. And sometimes if we pick up the needle, still holding the needle holder like this way, this curve will hit the vessel before we reach the suture and needle. So sometimes we turn the needle holder down. So this curve will bypass the vessel. Now we put the needle holder here. If we didn't put it here to secure the vessel to prevent it come along with our suture. So if the tail stuck in somewhere, we put here to isolate the suture. So all we need to do is keep watching the short end until it's kind of like 4-5 millimeter long. And then we bring it back to infinity. So one tip is don't just let it go and try to pick it up. Still still controlling this long end, so it can help you to go to the right place. You pick up the suture. Okay. The 2 stitch or 2 loop. Yeah, and then pull the suture evenly. Now you can see the suture, the knot coming down very good. Down. The second knot. Use this method for use. Yeah, still use this method because this is a training method can improve both of your hand. Okay, now we will cut this suture. Use another hand to support your hand. Use to support your hand. You will feel better. Shorter. You see, like if you see the suture like this way, like in the field, then James come out to see my hand. Like the suture is here, and then I will just bring my hand out and then come back again, so the suture will stay outside. Okay. Do you know what I mean? Like the suture is here, and then if you want to remove the suture from the field, it's not so easy. So I just move my hand out.
Yeah.
And then come back again, and then the suture will stay outside. Okay, now we do this median stitch. See, I raise the edge a little bit and then I come down. And first and second stitch, usually there's a gap. So if you are the beginner, try to use 2 steps. So we can finish one by and then we got it instead of where we try to reach to the other side and then tear this one. But when you are very good, you can just use 1 step if there's not a big gap there. So here it's also like we can, holding this suture for this by, we can point it towards our shoulder and find a good spot. It will be easy. Now you can see all the movement is the suture and your hand, the vessel will stay in place. Okay. Yeah, slowly, cut slowly. Now we put this, usually we put 2 stitches. Here, one here, one here. And it's the same thing. We remember what we practice is all our movement, the needle is just move forward. Raise the edge, needle go down, move forward. And here's the pistol down, and then our needles move forward. Got the suture. Yeah. If I didn't see my needle, I just pulling the suture, and then this needle will come back. And this stitch. Okay. We put the forceps inside. There's two goals. Two purpose. One is to provide a support. The second is isolate the backward. So usually the entry bite we won't hit the backward. Usually when we hit the backward, it's for exit bite when we try to come out here and we catch the backward of the distance. So the go to the very basic thing is my microsurgery is control how you control your needle, control your hand, and when you good at that, it's kind of it doesn't matter big vessel, small vessel, it's almost the same. Like a sports.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we flip it and then to the back. So yeah, now we can see, look into the lumen, we didn't hit the back wall. That's very good. That's your turn. But this length of suture is really good, short and okay. Okay. Move it to the middle. It's not easy at the first, at the beginning, but that's very common. So yeah, yeah, nice. Just a little bit angle.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can try one more time. That's the advantage in the lab. So we can just we're holding the needle parallel to the vessel, the axis of the vessel, so we can line up the entry and exit point. Yeah. Good. Now this one is perfect. Use the left hand to pull the suture out. Yeah. You can correct yourself, that means you can teach. Nice. Wow. Yeah, beautiful first stitch.
Thank you.
Yeah. Second one. You can move your hand a little bit to go to the middle, so you can use the hand position to compensate the little angle, little direction. This part is a little bit small or a little bit bigger. Yeah, slightly bigger. Yeah, very good. So here I want you to remember one number, like the long end is like 2.5 to 3 times of the short end. That's the best length to make to root, and you don't need to pull very far. Okay. Oh, one more. Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. Like James now is doing a second stitch on the synthetic vessel.
Thank you.
Yeah. You have a good assistant.
True that.
Okay. Yeah, a good assistant is very important. And sometimes I would like to keep the suture at the end. So after we remove the clamp, and if there's a big leaking, we can use this suture to helping to put one more stitch there. So if we cutting very short, it's hard to holding the vessel and can add one more stitch there. Sometimes there will be a small leaking. We want to put one stitch on it. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. Now can take a picture. This is a first ever half, and the next one we'll do the whole 6 stitch from the beginning. Okay.
Right.
Feeling good, right?
Yeah, that was actually pretty effective.
Yeah, so it's amazing, right? The microsurgery, a lot of people feels, oh, it's so hard. And even the Western, they TTY4, they still struggle. And naturally, we can learn it without any medical or surgical experience. So it's like the football, and you don't need to just muscle training.
Yeah.
Cut it. Yeah. Yeah. Start from the 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock. So, yeah, holding a little bit longer. Holding the needle a little bit longer. Now it's fly on the needles. Yeah, use a forceps here to support, and then go here. Try to go here. The 12 o'clock. You can holding the needle a little bit towards you, like towards your shoulder. Yeah, this is the most difficult one. Forceps is kind of like we want to go to the side, so we holding, hold, put, like we close the forceps and then open facing outside a little bit. There you do it. Each is the most difficult one. You can see this bar is a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
But it's fine. I mean, in the real one, we want to even the bar, but now it's practice. It's hard for you to make it happen now. So we just keep going, and then I'm pretty sure you can do it better after the practice. So in the training, I learned some theory from the elementary school education. There's a study, and the elementary school teacher, they teach the kids, like they teach one thing at a time, and then teach two things at a time, and teach three things at a time, and then see how good the kids pick it up and remember it and master it. So actually, guess which way, which one is better?
I would probably think.
And they trace also the how far the how quickly the kids learn.
Well, if you learn three things, then you have to work harder to recall the previous things.
Yeah.
So when they teach three things, do they learn the best?
No.
No.
Yeah. Naturally, when we learn things, kids learn things. They either only learn one things at a time. They can remember it better, but they move forward slower.
Right.
And they want when they learn three things. There's some struggle, and kids didn't kind of remember this one. And is from outside in. They didn't pick it up as good as the learning one thing and two things. So ends up actually it didn't make progress as fast as the other method. And then learning two things, they see that's the best outcome. they can pick it up quicker and they can move forward faster comparing to the other two teaching.
It's interesting.
Yeah. So since that when I see my kids, they make mistake here, there, I don't correct them. I only focus on like, oh, today we want to teach two things. Okay. Sometimes you may see the kids make things, everything is it's not not good. So if we keep correcting them, they will frustrated. And then a similar thing of like we learning micro or something, this is totally new, right? If a teacher keep correcting you here and there, it's actually kind of the similar to teach many things at a time, right? And actually our brain cannot pick it up so much.
Okay.
Yeah. When we pull the needle out, pull it out gently. Yeah, good. Yeah. And there's also other things like at the beginning you cannot pay attention to everything. It's kind of like the bandwidth, like the at the beginning when we're learning, our brain can only the bandwidth is only can handle that much information.
Right.
And adding more. And as you're getting better, that information will occupy less bandwidth, and then we can pay attention to more things. Yeah, nice. Now we finished the most difficult first and second stage. Maybe shit. Hey, James, take a look at the needle holder tip. Yeah, close it. Yeah, what do you see?
Small gap.
Yeah, that's why sometimes when you try to pick up the suture and then it come out. Why there's a small gap there?
Maybe I've been
It's
clamping too
not about
hard.
you. It is needle holder. I saw that before. It's because when we holding the needle or holding a bigger needle and then we kind of use too much force and then
Yeah.
making the tip of the needle holder open up. The thing about that, this is this needle holder is pretty strong. And some of the needle holder is very thin and very fine tip. If we holding a big needle with a very fine needle holder, that's sometimes will cause the damage. Oh, hey, how's the rat?
It's good. Nice pictures.
That's the
Lots of
rat.
Pictures of the rat.
Yeah, yeah. Do you see the skin is still healthy? That
I don't think so.
window?
See?
Oh, skin is not good.
Yeah.
The rat is infected.
Oh, the skin is bad.
Yeah, I think so.
Mm.
I was just sure. I'm gonna check on it again today.
Oh,
But yeah.
yeah. If the skin dead, probably the muscle, the limb is not healthy. Maybe also the clock. Yeah, maybe that's thrombosis. Not very sure, but most of the time like that, the skin necrosis. Maybe the skin didn't attach to the limb very good, so it's isolated or declared from there. That's a good scenario.
Yeah.
That means the limb still healthy inside.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second thing is everything's died because the osmosis was blocked. What is Aaron's idea about that? What should we do? Open it up or
We were gonna go ask him yesterday, but he wasn't in his office. So.
today we did it on Tuesday, Monday
Yeah, it was Wednesday.
or Wednesday. Oh, so this is the second day or today? Second day. Do you see it in Thursday? What does it look like? What do it look like?
That was Thursday. The picture I showed you. We're gonna go
Oh,
check today.
that's the Thursday.
That one might have been a little bit too central.
Yeah, yeah. So just try to put one more here. Take a deep breath. Yeah. Take a deep breath. Do some stretch. Oh, sometimes it's
Hamburg.
yeah, sometimes microsurgery. Yeah. Right? You see me? Oh, too hard. Wednesday, that so
I have to get stretched too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was hard.
Wednesday the instrument is not good. The vessel is too small. The rat's only like 99.
I think the one we have
Grand.
for next one is a little bit bigger. But it's gonna be a small one and a small one instead of a big one and a small one. So maybe the vessels will look the same size, but they'll still be small.
Oh, yeah, there's not much difference.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh. You want to use this suture for one more stitch or
Yeah,
yeah, it's
it's
good.
kind of a fun challenge to try to use it for as long as possible.
Yeah, you can find your limit and then you will never have to your limit in the OR because OR usually still have a long suture.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, so now what I see in the resident is like every struggle under the microscope will contribute to your success. Because like this struggle, you try to use your hand doing that precise movement. It's training.
Mhm.
Nobody will just go, oh, you do it in a live what you are doing, what the teacher was doing, very steady and accurate. So at the beginning, like a little bit struggle and shaky. That's the training process. It's very totally normal. Yeah, this two is good, right in the middle.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes this one we can, like in a real situation, we can just put one more stitch here.
Right.
Just flip it.
This thing. We'll probably need a new one now. It was good while it lasted.
Yeah, take the needle, take the tail out here first. Pick up the needle. Pick up the needle. Instead of pick up the suture. If you're holding the suture, try to pull it out. Sometimes we break the needle because the needle there's a curve in there. Sometimes it trying to catch inside that form. Now James finished the front wall. So you guys see that? Now we flip the vessel. James did the 8 o'clock, 6 o'clock and 12 o'clock, and then do 2 more in the middle, in the front wall. Now we flip the vessel and do the back wall. Yeah, very good. Yeah. Now, slow down. Slow down. Slow is fast. Slow down and do everything in the right way at the beginning. That's the way. That's the right way. Maybe go faster. Faster is not you move your hand faster. It's faster to be efficient. Reduce the wasting movement. That's the way to improve the speed, shorten the time of the surgery. So in the light of microsurgery, doing the anastomosis part is the most important step. So it's worth to spend a lot of enough time, slow down, enjoy your life. Yeah. Like when we dissecting, like we either stitching the skin or making something like other step, we can be fast at that. Advance to going to dissecting the vessel, and like we want to be fast, and then we poke the vessel and make a hole.
Oh, that's
Right?
not good.
That's not good. When doing anastomosis, you tear the vessel. That's even worse.
Should we wet it a little bit?
Hmm?
Should we wet it?
Oh yeah. If you want to control your needle holder better, so reach out to the distal, more distal. So the distal, more close the distal is more similar to your writing. When you're writing your name is kind of like this. So if you're holding like this way, writing your name, you need to move a lot. And holding to the distal, you can move a little bit, and then you can write down your name easier, right? And it's more control, and you only use a small movement. And this movement is your intrinsic muscle. Right? If you're moving like this way, it's external muscle. Like in the doing a simple microsurgery, I see my teacher, he really just kind of holding the needle holder and the instrument very close to the tip, we holding a pen. That's what we mean by holding an instrument like holding a pen. Bigger bias too small.
Oh dear. Mutilated it a little bit. Okay. I should slow. Let me slow down a little bit.
Yeah. As slow down, you control it better.
Okay.
Like microsurgery, if you choose microsurgery as your career, every minute, every second is your life. You just enjoy microsurgery, enjoy your life. Right? think about that. Like every second is your life. You don't want to waste it on. Enjoy it.
It's a good mantra.
Yeah.
It
Enjoy
is a
it.
good mantra.
Nice. Very good. Yeah. Yeah. If you want to do a radio artery, I think it will be patent.
Look at that.
Yeah, pretty sure. So the last two lessons, and then the practice time, we really make a good foundation. Okay, cut it.
Okay.
Yeah. Useful. Do you have a picture of today?
No, I'm still waiting for Natalie to get here,
Or waiting for them?
but then I'll come back up to you. Do you know where the needles we can use for that aren't for terminal use, that aren't expired?
Hmm? What? What do you know?
Needles that we can use that aren't expired?
What?
Needles we can use to give them oxygen?
Oh, for the injection?
Yeah.
Uh, how much do we inject? Yeah, I can find them. The vessel is really slipping.
Yeah.
Okay. Once you put a couple stitch on, it will lie better. Oh, almost. Yeah, you can put one arm in here. Block it.
Okay. Here.
Mm. Yeah, nice. Yeah. Sutures inside your needle for a second.
Thank you.
Did you start going down there?
Okay, that lost.
Run away the rat again.
Okay, I lost my needle. Here it comes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So remember I said, yeah, still holding the suture
Uh-huh.
before you, until you catch by the needle holder. So, and then in that method, you will always have one hand holding your suture, and then you will never lose it.
Thank you.
Yeah, so every time bring it back to in front of you, and then you catch,
Bring it back.
yeah, and then you catch it. Now, when you bring it back to in front of you and catch you, everything you go to naturally in the right way. I will tell you, so you finish this stage.
Okay. But I can still do. Okay. I guess I'm probably using a little too much force.
Okay, let me show you that. Why I said bring it back in front of you. Like if we stay here and then we try to reach the suture like this way, then when we bring it back, the suture pointing towards this side, making it hard to move. Sometimes we just reach out to bring it back like this way, and then the suture is under the needle hold, under the forceps, making it hard to make loops. So when we bring it back to in front of us, naturally we just holding a suture like this way, and this way is I see the suture is above and in front of our forceps. So this way is very convenient to make one or even two loops. So when we make loop, it's hard. Sometimes we may holding the suture like under our instrument, or sometimes the sutures kind of using a sharp angle away from us. See, that's sometimes causing the trouble.
Alright. Round two.
Press, use the needle to press in the vessel so we can take the full thickness by the forceps should be inside the lumen. When the forceps is here, we need to push away a little bit, so that will provide some. Like when the forceps out and then the needle is in, push a little bit in, then we create a difference between the edge and the needle pierce spot. So that's why we can pierce the full thickness. Yeah, when the needle is out, use
I always like losing. I keep losing grip of it. So use left hand. Bring it in front of me.
the exit bar. It doesn't matter. Sure. Yeah, good. Yeah, yeah, you got it. Press down and move forward. Yep. That's right. Yeah, nice. Yeah, try to make it raise the bar. Yes, set a standard high. Yeah, in the lab, you can try and make it perfect. is the second complete full anastomosis James is doing. Yeah. But the entry by most of the time we won't hit the back wall. Only most of the time we hit the back wall when we're doing the exit bite. Now you see the first stitch.
Yeah, it's a little.
Yeah, one bigger bite and then making it when it's in, rolling it inside. So the bite size theoretically is kind of twice of the thickness of the vessel wall.
Okay.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, so did 2.5. Okay. Yeah. Do you want to do one more or talk about that? Summarize it.
We can talk about it.
Yeah, so awesome. Yeah, I would like to say, you can see, let's cut the vessel, these two parts, these three is, one, two, this one or this one?
I
This
think
one.
it was this
This
one,
one, yeah.
and
You can cut these three anastomosis open and see from inside. There's some good things we can do in human.
wow, look at that.
This is the second one.
I believe so.
Now looking from inside, we can see that the suture line up pretty good. It's all straight line up with the axis of the vessel line.
Yeah.
And some, like this one, is a little bit bigger by and smaller by. So that's why we want to even the eye size. And this is the first one we practice.
Yeah.
Now we can see the edge of the vessel, they didn't invert. We want the vessel kind of even, vessel edge. Now this one is the line of this edge is a little bit inward. Inward is kind of the vessel outside tissue of the tissue outside the vessel go inside the lumen. And then if that happens, the blood cell, like the platelet, you think that's an open of the vessel because they see something outside.
Mhm.
And that's the tissue outside is a very strong coagulation factor 3. And then the platelet will attach to there, try to fix it, to repair it. And then if the vessel is really small, platelet will go bigger and bigger and then accumulate in there and then making a thrombosis. Yeah. This size is one, we line up the vessel, the suture pretty good, but some pie is a little bit,
A little
Yeah.
wonky.
yeah,
Room for improvement.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, take a picture. Let me see if you can take a picture in here. Oh, not very sure. That's fine.
Look at the rat is doing.
Hmm?
The rat is doing a lot better. The picture's been today.
So she looks healthy.
And this was yesterday.
Oh. This is today.
Yeah, this is today.
This
This is today.
what's the day?
This is 2 days after. This is today. This is today. Those ones up there yesterday.
Yeah, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's alive, not dead.
Yeah.
The first picture maybe
Yeah,
yeah,
I know. Do you think it was just dried blood? or
maybe.
Yeah, I was
Maybe.
like, uh-oh.
Yeah, you know that's not a big color. Now it come back.
Yeah.
Awesome. Happy. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about that. And so it's almost 2 hours. And today we practiced the first anastomosis I did have, and then James do the second, do the back walk, and then he finished 2 anastomosis completely from the beginning, first stitch to the last stitch. And I can see the past 2 lessons, James is kind of setting a very good foundation. And besides that, he practiced in the lab. And I can see his hand is good. And I remind him when I saw him want to be fast. Yeah, and microsurgery, yeah, in the anastomosis part is really, we should put a lot of time, enough time there. Let's use a face cam. You can see.
A little bit janky on the stand here, I guess. There we go. That's better. Okay.
You can see both of them.
There we go.
Yeah. So I said, yeah, we pick microsurgery as our career. So every second is our life. So enjoy microsurgery is kind of enjoy our life. And actually, like being fast, microsurgery being fast is not you move fast, move quicker. It's to be efficient, reduce the waste step, and make a right decision making, and do the things right at the first time. Like for example, like in a microsurgery in OR, you do it right, and then the flap will has a good blood circulation, and then we have a good sleep at night. If not, and then the nurse will call you, okay, for the case, your flap is down. It's not good. And you have to come back to flap take back. That's even worse, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, James. Yeah. What is your impression of today's practice?
I
Is
thought it
your
was
first?
pretty productive, actually. I had a lot of fun doing the anastomoses.
Yeah.
I felt a lot more confident with the needle and the needle driver than I have in previous sessions.
Yeah.
And it was a good confidence builder to be able to do it on like a vessel like model,
Yeah.
right? Just on like a cylindrical model as opposed to doing it on the flat surfaces like before with the glove.
Yeah,
So,
that's a good point. It's a good confident build up method. Yeah, once you can see, oh yeah, exactly, I can do it. Yeah. So what is your difficulty at the beginning, and then how you overcome it?
yeah, I think
What difficulty do you feel you have at the beginning
difficulty. Well,
today? Yeah, in today's practice.
on like a scale.
Yeah.
Well, considering I'd never done it before, I would say difficulty would have been somewhere near the maximum difficulty. But having already known the suturing methods, obviously helps translating from the glove to the suture, or from the glove to the vessel. What else? Yeah, it was definitely a little bit different. Manipulating the vessel moves a lot. Obviously, the vessel kind of moves more than a stationary glove would, just because it has a little bit of rebound when you try to move it around and manipulate. Obviously, trying to get the forceps in between the vessel walls is harder than just getting it underneath the glove material. Working with two surfaces, front and back, is a bit different than just working with one and being aware of not puncturing the rear.
Not going too
back.
deep. Yeah. So if I think about you will be a teacher. What after you experience this teaching and learning process, what would you like to do in your teaching? Or I would like to emphasize which spot and where you feel is very helpful for you to
Yeah, I think
making progress.
emphasizing taking it slowly,
Slowly.
focusing
That's
focusing on every movement, not
movement, slowly. Yeah.
making movements intentional.
Making movement intentional. Yeah.
I
good point.
find a lot of the time that I spend like messing around is because like I lose track of the needle or the thread, and I have to kind of like mess around with it under the frame and try to get it back in my view, and that ends up just kind of making a bit of a hassle.
Yeah.
So being more careful with more careful and more aware of what all of the equipment is how it's being handled.
Yeah.
I would say is an important is an important thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, organize the suture.
Yeah.
And then you will feel much better.
yeah,
Right? Yeah.
maintaining an organized field of view.
Yeah.
Definitely important.
Okay, cool. You share some very good point. Slow down and then making movement with purpose and then organize, learn manipulating the needle, the suture, organize them better, and then you feel better. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Any question? Any thoughts you want to share?
Dr. Zhang is a fantastic teacher.
Good
That's-
point.
yeah. So it's obviously I wouldn't have any opportunity to do this kind of thing without him being available and willing to take on an undergraduate. Right? It might not seem so you know, I mean, not that there's anybody else in line waiting to come out and train at this point in time during the day, but you know, yeah, it's a lot. It's a great opportunity as an undergraduate to be able to do this kind of thing, which might not be available to a lot of people. It's very, very cool, very fascinating, and grateful.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, that's all of today. 2 hour. We didn't feel just 2 hour actually. Like every time this 2 hours is kind of for my life feeling is half hour.
Yeah.
So if you like microsurgery, if you want to learn microsurgery, please reach out to us. And we also teach micro course overseas. Like we go to Vietnam, Africa, and if your hospital, your country want to have more microsurgeon, reach out to us. We may go to your hospital and teach a course. Okay. And if you like our video, please subscribe and share. Bye.
Bye.